Hello everyone, my name is Rohan Shah and today I'm honored to be joined with Dr. Pavan Kumar. Dr. Pavan Kumar is a neuropsychiatrist at NRI Medical College in Guntur, and he is also the head of the department and our beloved professor. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Hello everyone.
So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to tackle some of the questions we all have about psychiatry and let him kind of explain, to start off with, what exactly is psychiatry? What do you do as a psychiatrist?
See, most of the people immediately when they talk about psychiatry, the first reaction comes into their mind is, oh my god, psychiatry. So first thing is, I don't know why, but they don't see, when we talk about general medicine or we will talk about the general surgery or dermatology, all these things, the instant reaction will be neutral and natural. But for psychiatry, they will have post a lot of expressions. That might be because of how the psychiatry previously projected by different variety of media people, especially in movies or in web series or serials. So because of that, they tend to have these type of notions, and because of that, there is a stigma which has developed. So according to psychiatry, I basically say that no one is perfect. Okay, when we talk about no one is perfect, then next question comes, is everyone is normal? So when we talk about normality, when more number of people think that this is right, then it becomes normal. See, psychiatry basically, when we talk about a health, then it comes as a physical, mental and social well-being. Okay, but in previous old definitions of WHO health, first it was incorporated only a physical well-being. Yes. Later they incorporated physical and mental well-being. Now they incorporated physical, mental and social well-being. So that is how it is evolutionary, it is changing. Especially when it comes in terms of psychiatry, we have to rule out all the normal conditions. See, all other non-psychological disorders like organicity. Once we rule out an organicity, then only we can say that it is a psychological illnesses. That means a psychiatrist should be well versed with all other organic conditions. Then only he can come to a conclusion. The patient, when we go for the investigations, in that investigations, biochemical, physical, anatomical, pathological abnormality shouldn't be detected. Then it comes under psychiatric illnesses. Indirectly you can call it as a functional illnesses.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of goes into one of the other things. So going a bit on the diagnostic way, so that makes it really difficult, right, for a psychiatrist to diagnose certain problems.
See, this is one of the major gray area where more extensive research is going on. See, if a person coming to a general physician with fever and certain symptomatology, then you run a certain investigations. In that, if you come up with malarial parasite which can be seen in the peripheral smear, then immediately you can call it as a malaria. Oh, but if I say schizophrenia, then patient asks, how you say that it is a schizophrenia? Because right now we don't have any investigatory procedure where I can definitely say that this is where I can call it as a schizophrenia. Here we are confined with only the symptomatology, the symptoms which they present and the signs we elicited on the patient.
Yes.
And along with that, yes, now the research is going on. Now we are talking about more of biomarkers. Then we are talking about neurotransmitters in the brain. Now we are assessing and we are calculating the neurotransmitters. But those investigations cost more. It costs somewhere around 50,000 to 80,000. In that, the entire treatment procedure will be finished.
Okay.
But ultimately the treatment is the same.
Yes.
Why we have to make a burden? Whether we can simplify the same thing. Right now we have only a rating scales. On that rating scales we show that these are the positive symptoms, these are negative symptoms, these are the depressive scores, these are the OCD scores, these are the young mania rating scales. And along with that, the quality of life, that is an important measurement. So now they want to lead a comfortable and quality of life. Yes. So now we are talking in terms of quality of life. So because of that, once the treatment gets started, if the quality of life improves, there ends the matter.
Yes. So now kind of you mentioned about the stigma and some of the things patients feel. How do you think other branches can work to kind of improve the opinion towards psychiatry? Do you think there's some stigma within medicine itself towards psychiatry?
Yes. See here, first thing is in like last decade or previous decades, the psychiatrists, see, you can take an example from any movie or any web series, how they show a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist they show with a white hair guy with a beard. He will be somewhere disoriented, or he's wobbling here and there. They just take it like a comic character.
Yes.
But when you see in a real life, it won't be like that. So how you show it, because here it carries to lot of people. This is about how that becomes a learned behavior to the people, to the society, how we show them. Here when we see to the other departments, the knowledge regarding psychiatry, when I am talking about the psychiatry, indirectly I am talking about anesthesia, radiology and dermatology.
Okay.
These are all peripheral branches of general medicine where not that importance is given during undergraduation.
Yes.
Even that attendance, even separate exam papers are not there, it is combined with the general medicine. When these things are there, they don't give much importance to the subject. They want to see it as one of the branch of general medicine rather than a psychiatry entity.
Yes.
So if these changes can come, definitely there will be a lot of awareness which can be created in terms of psychiatry, especially for the people as well as for the other departments.
So I know a lot of students especially struggle with mental health issues, and a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, are struggling. Personally, what are some things you do yourself to kind of help maintain your mental state and your balance within?
See, here you ask two questions. One is regarding the medical students and how they approach to us regarding there is a stigma. See, I always say in my initial classes, suddenly you are absent for 3-4 days. On the 5th day when you come back, your friends ask, hey, what happened? So you underwent a surgery, appendicitis. So you tell them that had a severe stomach ache, then I went to rough investigations, then they diagnosed with an appendicitis. Then Anrup sir or Mallikarjun sir has done a wonderful, you can't see the scar also, it was a wonderful surgery. Thank God it was fine and everything went well. So within 4 days I am back to the college.
Yes.
If the same person comes me for the depression for 5 days, on the 5th day the friend asks, what happened, you didn't come? No Ray, I was not feeling well, my parents was not there, my grandparents were not fine, so I went to my village. So now they start giving extra reasons instead of telling the exact reason why they didn't come.
Yes.
And this is the second point. The third point is the prejudice. So they think that, okay, if someone knows about it, they will just separate me from them, and because I am having a psychiatric illnesses. So because of that, they don't want to reveal themselves about their illnesses. Because of that, their quality of life is decreased. So I give a small example for that. Everyone will come across with a fever. Okay, I can manage without any medication the fever.
Yes.
But your quality of life, if you take a paracetamol, within half an hour the fever will be subsided. What will be your quality of life? Much better. In the same manner, when you are depressed, sad, you seek a help. We don't give medication to everyone. If it is a moderate to severe level, then we go for a medication. If it is a milder form, then simple counseling and some behavioral techniques will enhance you for the betterment of your quality of life. So in the same manner, I tend to explain them, educate them. Nothing wrong in taking medication if you accept it, so that indirectly your quality of life is improved. So when your quality of life is improved, then your productivity is improved and everything can be improved from your side. So in that way I will try to educate them and explain them.
Okay. And then like to the second part of it, what do you do yourself to kind of maintain your like a positive mental health, and what you would suggest to students and others?
See, I always I keep multiple options actually. Is I start coping myself. One is being happy with the department. Second thing is maintaining a cordial relations with everyone. Then I have that character of like extrovert and a fun-loving character. Along with that, I'm a little bit a gadget freak. So music lover. So I have a wide varieties of Bose, Sonos, sound systems, home theater systems in my hall, my bedroom, even my children's room. Then headphones, I have 3 varieties of headphones. I don't know daily I will use it, but I keep it aside, because whenever I feel a little bit low or whenever I feel like a little bit sad, I have like a sacred chants like mantras of all the gods. So I will just have it. And one more thing is, if I am right now here in my clinic, my more focus will be on my patients at my clinic. Once I finish this thing, I will reach to my home, my clinic is off.
Okay.
My home is on. So it's like a switching myself. Once till morning, if I am at my home, then I don't bother about anything. I will be focusing completely to my family, my kids. Once after 8:30, once I leave my home, even while driving, I will be focusing on my department. Okay, what are the problematic cases, how I have to manage, how I go through with today's program. So those things I will be thinking. In that way, I will try to balance it. And sports. So I love all the sports, whatever the time I get. I try to, right now I am playing a badminton, not a singles. I don't want to go for an injury, so I will play doubles badminton. If any time I get a chance, I will play TT. So these are the kinds of sports I will tend to play. And right now I am a captain for Andhra cricket team, especially for Psychiatrist. So till at this age I am playing cricket.
Okay.
So wherever I get an opportunity to play, definitely I will utilize it and try to play as much of sports.
Okay. So would that be something that you would suggest to a lot of people, physical activity? Would you say that's a game changer when it comes to a lot of these mental illnesses?
Yes. See, as you asked a very good question, because recently as I was active participant of I'm sports committee, especially for Andhra Pradesh. So right now in a South Zone, they asked me for a seminar, conducting a seminar where myself, Raj, and my department, we are planning for it. Role of sports, art, and cultural activities in mental illness, mental health, in mental health. So now it was very thought provoking, and I want to like see how many publications are there in it. Now I go through with the journal. Definitely once I work it out in that area, definitely we can have a one small interview, especially on these aspects.
Yes, sir.
So definitely there is a very major big role, especially the physical act, because I can give you biological aspects, neurobiology of physical activity. See, when we talk about neurogenesis, most of the people you say that sir, once brain is developed, how come possible there is a neurogenesis? But the new memory, the long term potentiation, what we call the hippocampus. So in the hippocampus, where new neurogenesis will be taking place, physical activity is the one positive indicator where there is a more neurogenesis. So that is an indirect indicator for growth of your brain.
Yes.
And that increases your BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor, which is one of the important factor for neurogenesis. So even you have a neurobiological basis for physical activity.
Okay. So now a little bit into your personal journey. What moment or what motivated you, what inspired you to go into psychiatry? Why psychiatry? When you were like an undergraduate going through it, why did you choose psychiatry?
As usual, when I'm doing my house surgery, everybody will be interested in general medicine, then cardiology, then or neurology and all these things. But to my surprise, I had a very good teacher, especially in a Deccan Medical College, Anurag Srivastav. So he used to teach us psychiatry in such a way, whenever his 90% of the classes he has taken, all the 25 classes we used to have for psychiatry, 20 classes he used to take. So whenever Anurag Srivastav sir is there in the class, that it is his sent person, because he used to put a psychiatry in such an interesting way, we used to easily understand about it. Indirectly somewhere I am connected with the psychiatry. Then when we are talking about stigma, in my first counseling, when I got psychiatry, my mother's reaction, so this was a first reaction by mother. Because of that, first time when I did my anesthesia, previously anesthesia I got MD psychiatry, but because of my mother I left it.
Okay.
So she told, oh no psychiatry, everybody calls me pitch doctor valamma. So that means mad doctor's mother. So then I left it and I did my anesthesia. Then the destiny comes once again, gave a one more chance, because I did my DA from Osmania because of some hurdles with the counseling. So I wrote an entrance. Then second time when I got a psychiatry, then I couldn't resist myself. So I just I told my mom that I think I gave God has given the second opportunity for me for taking a psychiatry. So don't say no, mom, because I am interested in the subject and I want to learn more about it. And one more thing is, before I took a psychiatry, I was very anxious, sensitive, dependent personality. As I was doing my psychiatry, I become more matured enough. I applied that psychiatry to myself and become a more matured and more non-dependent and more in terms of the confidence levels and everything were built up right now. So whatever the position which I have right now, only because of psychiatry. With anesthesia, my confidence levels were very high in treating a patient. With psychiatry, I made myself a better person, where I am very comfortable. I changed myself a lot, and the same thing I am applying to the other individuals also.
Yeah. I think one shift that I notice as a student right now is a shift kind of towards more holistic medicine. And that kind of, at least in the US, that means like developing branches like family medicine, rural health medicine, those kind of things. And I feel personally like psychiatry, from watching you interact with patients, there's a big emphasis on holistic medicine. Can you kind of talk about that, how important it is to treat the whole system rather than just the condition?
See, here when we talk about any psychiatric illnesses, we talk about a model called biopsychosocial model. That means the biological aspect, the social aspects and the psychological aspects. So these three are combined. So when we are talking about biological aspects, that means you are confined to only the neurotransmitters. Okay, when you are talking about the social aspects, that means a family is the first unit of a society. That means you have to be more interacting with the family members. The person get affected, along with that one more person has to be staying with the person.
Yes.
The two members' earnings will be affected. So because of that, there will be more burden onto the family. So here we have to explain that burden. If you can make him treat as early as possible, so that fast they can go to a daily routine life activities. So this is become the social aspects. Then psychological aspects. There is a lot of psychological aspects we are talking about. The main psychological aspects, what I mean to say is three things: over involvement, criticism and hostility. These three I call it as a expressed emotions. Whenever you are in any relation, either it is a friendship or is a family members, mother and a child, or between a two girlfriend or a boyfriend, or a grandfather or a grandchildren, they shouldn't have high expressed emotions. Over involvement is a positive emotion which is not good. See, certain parents, what they do, no, don't do this, no, you don't do that. Because of that, they tend to have more psychological issues. Along with that, criticism. Always they criticize. The way they sit, what, this is the way you sit, what, this is the way you eat, what, this is the way you write, this is what you do, this is what you do. They criticize. But unfortunately, most of the parents, they are showing very high expressed emotions. Either they are overly involved in their kids' things, or they are more criticizing or hostility towards them. So because of that, these are the psychological issues. If these things are high expressed emotions, all the factors, biological factors, social factors and psychological factors will affect these things. So to understand this thing, when I treat them, I tell them that the 30 to 40% medication will improve, the family support is 30 to 40%, and 20% to 25% the change has to come from within. I will tell the person itself. If these three can collaboratively and effectively can be done, then I can clearly assure them 100% I can treat the case. So that is how I depict and I tell about the biopsychosocial model to the family members.
Okay, and that's amazing. I think I can also make some changes in the way I deal with things based on what you said. So kind of going away from that though, you talked about how research is kind of starting more and more into psychiatry. So with all these changes kind of in the favor of psychiatry, where do you see it going in 10 years, the branch of psychiatry?
I think within the decade, this will be one of the topmost branches where we need lot of psychiatrists, especially the depression. It is coming almost like top second.
Yes.
Suicidality, it's almost fifth when you compare with all other deaths because of medical illnesses. And when you see all these things, after the COVID, the cases of OCD, it is drastically increased. Previously we were supposed to talk about the substance abuse of these things, alcohol, nicotine. Now more substance abuse, cannabis, benzodiazepines, all sorts of things. Now when we are talking about the gadgets, mobile addiction, internet, the Instagram, Snapchat, everything. And see, because now the person is getting detached to the reality. Now he is coming into more of virtual where he is confining himself to one single mobile or a laptop or something else where he is completely hooking up over there. See, if he likes it, he will keep it. If he doesn't like it, he will remove it. So he is mainly satisfied. Previously, even when you are among with your friends, as a rotation, sometimes it's your term where everybody will be talking against you. They will teasing you. Though immediately what I can say is, "Arey, aaj tere ko bakra bana diya." So like each and every day one turn will be there. So we will take it very lightly. We don't take it seriously. Like it is like a mature defense mechanism where it's a humor.
Yes.
But nowadays children, how many children are there where they go for they say that, "Oh mommy, I am going for a ground where I want to play."
Much less.
So it's very, 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 very tough. So the lifestyle changes, the way the society is moving forward is very fast. In that, because of that, they are unable to handle things. Previously, the pace at which life was moving, now it is almost 5x forward. When everything is fast, you tend to do mistakes very fast. You learn it in the same manner, but how many of them will learn in a positive way? Because of those failures, how many of them they go into a negative way?
So kind of before we wrap up, just this last question is a little bit more for medical students here, specifically going into psychiatry. And you don't have to say your specific numbers, but how does like the salary range look, like the bottom to like the top end of psychiatrists?
See, I always say that don't see in terms of money. I always, especially the houses, first they enter into my room, I always tell them that you should have your own entrepreneurships. When you become a doctor, you have to think about the other businesses which you can be doing. That is the first thing I say. Because when you are leading a doctor's life, it is like a tortoise story. The earning will be very slow, but ultimately you reach your goal. I always tell them that treating patient is for your satisfaction. You see your earnings and everything from your businesses, but never see your patients or your treating patients or anything medical profession as a business. So I always say that. But as you asked me, as any other like a branch of this thing, psychiatry, initially right now, whenever you complete your degree and you come up, you will get somewhere around 80 to 1 lakh initial. Whenever these youngsters are there, I always tell them that if you want any suggestions, come to us. Definitely we will show, definitely way for it. Not as an individual, we grow as a group together. If you are not near to us, then we will form a group there itself, in which way we can guide you how to set up a clinic or in a balanced way. So in that way, I will say that go slow. Don't think much about this thing, money. You always weigh yourself how much satisfied you are. But as days goes on, his experience increases. Definitely he will earn much better when he compare with the other branches.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that last thing you said about separating the doctor profession and treating patients from business is something that really resonated with me, because especially in the US with capitalism and all that, I think that's a huge issue, and that's one of the reasons why the healthcare system there is so expensive. So, I think that's something that really resonated with me, and I hope I maintain that throughout my future medical career.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for this interview,
Thank
sir.
you, Rohan.
I hope we can do many more in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Certain point of time, I can tell you one example. Like son, daughter-in-law, and mother of the son. She is having a simple infection. She is delirious. In delirium, most of the daytime she will be fine. But in the sundowning effect, in the evening and in the night time, she will be more confused. So immediately daughter-in-law says, see, your mother is doing lot of actions. When you are not there at home, she is wonderful and she is very fine. But when you came in the evening, she is starting all the action she is doing. Wantedly she is going urine over there. Wantedly she is doing all sorts of nonsense. I don't like these things. But they are forgetting that it is a part of a delirium. In that time, I will try to explain the daughter-in-law, because the son, being a son, he will be understanding. I explain the daughter-in-law what exactly a mechanism, why it happens even in the evening times and the night times. So I try to explain these things. Once I treat them, they can see the difference. Unless and until I show the evidence to them, they won't accept it.
Yeah.
So that means, Rohan, what is this yaar? Immediately your brain will be in a negative phase. Next, whatever I talk, it won't listen to it.